Hey friends, it has been a hot minute since I've been out in the garden, but it's been really busy. Like I warned you, July might do me in, but we are halfway through of our very busy July, and Mason's baseball team is done with baseball for the 2022-2023 season. So things are going to lighten up just a little bit. This coming week is play week for Ava, so I'm still kicking it pretty good. And then we've got a camping trip after that. And then, I don't want to jinx myself, but I should have a lot of time in the garden in August. I'm hoping so. So I'm out in the backyard. This is the first time I'm really going to spend a significant amount of time in the garden since I got back from my epic wilderness adventure. Those videos are all up if you want to check them out. But today, let's walk around the garden and see. I'm kind of going to make a to-do list, what's important to get done. So let's check it out. So let's start with the ugly first. This side driveway, just not happening like I thought it would. I'm getting cherry tomatoes. Those look a little bit bigger than cherry. I bet it's the 4th of July. I got a couple cherry tomatoes over here, but this plant's looking a little sickly and there's not much going in between. Same thing is happening down there. So what I'm going to do is these cucumbers and melony things that I grew as backups, I'm going to put them in here because why not, right? And then up here, these are the beans that I planted, and they're actually doing really well. I'm pretty proud of them. And I'm actually getting little calendula flowers flowering. So those are doing well, but we're going to take the cucumbers and melons and plug them in here. And I'll let you see this one too. These tomato plants look a little bit better. They're getting a little taller, but I'm going to pull these out of here. Look, I got one little baby kohlrabi. I'm going to yank those out of there and let cucumbers and / melons, whatever those plants happen to be, go in there. So that's probably the worst messy thing going on. In terms of ain't that pretty, the asters are starting to flower. These are purple ones right here. Oh, there's one right there. There. Nice. This looks good. Okay, one other bad thing. Do you see all that brown right there? See how there's nothing in that basket anymore? Everything on my porch is dead. But the clematis next to the porch is still looking lovely. So I'll take my wins where I can get them, right? Here's where the beans wouldn't grow, except for this beautiful bean right here. I will have one beautiful bean there. That's pretty. Super pretty. All of this is looking nice and lush. I got to come in here and cut the bushes back again. We have determined this is a black-eyed Susan here in the corner. It was going to be a cornflower or a black-eyed Susan, and it is very definitely a black-eyed Susan. And the bees are loving it. Can you see that little guy down there crawling around on it? There's bees, little tiny bees all over it. That's not exactly the best location for it, but I'm going to have to think about it. There you go. Either relocate this or relocate the things underneath it. That's project number 3. Over this way, this all just needs a really good haircut. But we have got phlox open. The daisies are open. These beautiful cosmos. And these are coreopsis. Oh, down here, the feverfew and the little teddy bear sunflowers. They're gorgeous, and all the pollinators are out in full force, just loving on everything that's over here. This is by far the prettiest view. Do you see that monarch butterfly flying around? There's been like 4 of them around this morning. They love these cone flowers. I'll put a short up later. All of the bees. Look at this little albino bee. There's little green sweat bees. They all love the coneflower row. Oh my gosh, I could watch this monarch all day long. It just keeps flying. I don't know how well it's gonna. Here he goes. Hi. Oh, back here, you can see that torch sunflower. The Mexican sunflower is growing nice and big. This is just gonna be a pollinator haven between these coneflowers and those sunflowers back there. It's gonna be amazing. These coneflowers right here are over my head. Those are over my head. They're amazing. And this walkway, I imagine my neighbors might not love this too much, but there is just sunflowers and coneflowers and this little butterfly. I don't know what he is. He looks like he's either been in a fight or he's a different kind of breed that I don't know. He's pretty though. Hey there, bumblebee. I'm telling you, at any point I could come out here and find 50 different pollinators on these coneflowers. Backing her up. These are all the volunteer sunflowers. Coneflowers. Just look at them all. And then these are all the sunflowers on both sides. These are really tall. I didn't think they were going to be this tall, but they're multi-branching, so there's some flowering here, some flowering here. This is just a tunnel with zinnias popping out of sunflowers. It's a little creepy, I'm not going to lie. Look at this pretty black-eyed Susan I got over here. I'm echinacea, it's an echinacea. Yeah, look at these. All right, so the sunflowers are a giant win. I should come through and trim them up a little bit, but that's not super high on the priority list. This has got me really excited. My peppers are all starting to come on hard and fast. Lots of plants, lots of little peppers coming. Also taking off while I was gone, the calendula has gotten a little bit out of control. Calendula as far as the eye can see. So I'm going to come out here and harvest these and cut them down and try and get them to back off my pepper plants a little bit. I will use these, I'll dry them out and use them in salves, which I'll show you another day. But I'll come out and harvest these in the morning when they are dry. So that might be tomorrow morning. I think tomorrow I should be good. Remember when I thought this was chard? That is the biggest beet I've ever seen in my entire life. Hey beet, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. And look at these guys. Right when I got home, we got our first summer squash. That is the slick pick. That one is coming on strong, the yellow summer squash. This one next to it, the plant is really big. I'm not seeing any actual fruit on it quite yet. Thanks, motorcycle man. He was loud. Let's get back here and see it. Right here. Here he is, little striped zucchini guy. Can you see him? Nice. So we will be regularly having fresh zucchini and summer squash on the grill or in the cast iron pan this week for dinner. Okay, right behind me, garlic. This is probably my number one task to do this week. I need to get it out of the ground before it gets wet again, which it's kind of damp still. Garlic, hang on, let's flip you around. Garlic can be picked when it starts to go too brown in the bottom. Mine is still looking pretty decent, which is weird, but I do have good garlic bulbs under there. I'm gonna pick this one just because I wanna see what's going on. Ooh, there it is, let's see. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, look at, she looks fantastic. She also doesn't look quite ready. Huh, I'm gonna use this one fresh and I'm gonna leave the rest of them for a little bit. It's just so late for me. I came back and I thought I would be late, but if you look, I've just got a couple of them that are they're starting to go brown, but there's a lot of green left on them. I think I'm gonna leave them through this next set of rainfall. I'm gonna give them another week. I can kind of tell they're a little early because if you look, they're not super papery on the outside. They look like they've still got room to grow. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to dry it up and use this one, but I am going to leave the rest of it in for just a little bit longer. The other thing I'm keeping an eye on are these onions. You can see they're starting to fold over. When onions do that and they start to die out, it means they're ready to be picked. And you can see these are looking well, I'd like for you to see. These are looking really good. They're getting to be a good size. I'm just going to keep the mulch away from them. I'm going to let them go a little bit browner, but I should have a really Nice. This one's flipping over. Look at that guy. I should have a nice onion harvest coming within the next week too. So in the next week or two, it's going to be onions and garlic. Be ready. And we'll just take a quick walk in the backyard. I'm going to do a full garden tour this week. Look at the cosmos. The melons are going crazy. More cosmos. This anise hyssop is probably 5 feet tall. The tomatoes. Ooh, look at all the Dara. Isn't it beautiful? So pretty. I love it so much. Back here I've got the squash growing up. The back is a giant mess of volunteer plants and kale. I got to decide what to do with that. I got peas up here growing though. Squash back there. These calendula and snapdragons that volunteered have taken over everything. They are a little crazy pants. I may have to pull some of those out of there after I harvest them all. But back here I've got great looking tomatoes. You see them? These guys here. Look at this truss of tomatoes. If that isn't the prettiest picture ever. Ugh, I love it. I love it. So, tying up more tomatoes. Add that to my list. This is huge. So I've got a lot to do. But now I'm finally getting to the point where I've got time to do it. So I will be back in the garden again, weeding and cleaning things up in a couple days here. And then we'll go ahead and do a full garden tour. I hope that you guys are enjoying your summer. And I hope to be back real soon. All right. Have a great night. Bye.